Rome was the greatest city on earth. Over 1 million people lived here. Stone temples, wooden apartments, narrow streets, endless noise. And on the night of July 18th, 64 AD, Rome began to burn. The fire started quietly, in shops near the Circus Maximus, where oil, wood, and cloth were stored. Within hours, flames climbed rooftops. The wind carried sparks across the city. People woke to smoke and screams. The fire did not stop. For 6 days and 7 nights, Rome burned. By the end, 10 of Rome's 14 districts were destroyed or damaged. Thousands were homeless. Ancient temples collapsed. Family histories turned to ash. And one question echoed through history. Where was Emperor Nero while Rome burned? Ancient writers accused him of watching, of singing, of dreaming of a new Rome rising from the flames. But what actually happened that night? And did Nero truly burn his own city? Rome in 64 AD was dangerous even without fire. Most people lived in insulae, tall apartment blocks made of wood. They were cramped, poorly built, often unstable. Fire was common. Small fires happened every year. Emperor Augustus had created a fire brigade, the Vigiles. But Rome's streets were narrow. Water access was limited. One spark could become a disaster. That spark came on a hot summer night. The fire begins. According to Tacitus, Rome's most reliable historian, the fire began near the Circus Maximus. The area was packed with flammable goods. Once flames took hold, they spread rapidly. People fled in panic. Some tried to fight the fire. Others looted abandoned homes. Tacitus writes that confusion made things worse. Orders were unclear. Rumors spread fast. Some claimed they were prevented from putting out the flames. Others said men were seen starting new fires. Tacitus is careful here. He reports these claims, but does not confirm them. Where was Emperor Nero? Nero was not in Rome when the fire started. This is critical. Ancient sources agree. Nero was in Antium, his birthplace, about 50 kilometers away. When he heard of the fire, he returned immediately. This detail comes from Tacitus himself. Once in Rome, Nero opened public buildings for refugees. He arranged food shipments from Ostia. He lowered grain prices. These actions are historically documented. Yet suspicion remained. The rumor that changed history. Despite Nero's relief efforts, rumors spread. People said Nero wanted to rebuild Rome in his own image. They said he wanted space for a massive palace. Then came the most famous accusation, that Nero climbed a private stage, that he sang about the fall of Troy while Rome burned. This story appears in Suetonius and Cassius Dio, but Tacitus does not confirm it. Modern historians note something important. The phrase "fiddled while Rome burned" is impossible. The violin did not exist. If Nero sang, it would have been with a lyre, and only after returning to Rome, if at all. Still, perception mattered more than truth. Rome needed someone to blame. The fire finally stops. For 6 days, the fire slowed. Then it reignited. Another 3 days of destruction followed. When it was over, Rome was shattered. 3 districts were completely destroyed. 7 more heavily damaged. Ancient temples burned. Homes vanished. And the people were angry. Nero rebuilds Rome. Nero announced a massive rebuilding program. New building codes were introduced. Wider streets, fire-resistant materials. This is one of Nero's most progressive reforms. But there was a problem. At the center of the rebuilt city rose the Domus Aurea, the Golden House. It was enormous. History was written by his enemies. Nero died 4 years later. Abandoned by the Senate, declared a public enemy, He took his own life in 68 AD. His final reported words were, "What an artist dies in me." Rome survived. It was rebuilt stronger, but Nero's name never recovered. The fire of 64 AD became his eternal symbol, not because history proved his guilt, but because belief burned longer than truth. And that is the final irony. Rome burned once, Nero burned forever in memory.